What up, guys? What's going on, family? Thank you for joining in. It is myself, Sa Ra Garvey, and the infamous Stevie Knight. If you don't know Stevie Knight, you better get to know right now. You better go and follow. You better go and follow him right now. His link is in the description of the video. He's right there right now. Stevie, I appreciate you joining me, bro. How you doing, brother?
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you allowing me to accompany you on this. Oh shit, I'm tripping. My bad. Yeah. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I'm here. We here.
No, listen, bro. It's a long time coming. It's actually a long time coming. We've been speaking, behind the scenes, trying to get this. How you say this masculine shit, you're a masculinist, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm a masculinist too. We got to get this shit popping for I appreciate the fact that we from the UK and the US can kind of bridge that gap. Do you know what I'm saying? And kind of like get shit popping, because like I said, the stuff that men are going through in the US and in the Western world in general, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's kind of universal right now. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, folks, thank you for joining in. We also have Marcus from The People's Opinion. Marcus, introduce yourself, brother.
What's going on, people? What's going on? How's everyone doing out there?
Yeah. So, listen, folks, we're going to let you know this is going to be once a week at least, right, Marcus?
At least
once a week, right? At least once a week. We're going to try and go live.
The more they want it, the more we'll give.
Yeah, the more people say they want it, the more we'll give them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're gonna try and give you this once a week. Myself and Stevie are gonna be trying to collaborate as much as possible, trying to bridge that gap between the US and the UK. But today, the show today is about the gender war. Stevie, let me just ask you before we even get started. Do you think there's a gender war going on, bro?
I don't think there's a war. I just think one gender's getting their ass whooped right now.
Who's getting their ass whooped, bro?
Hey man, what they want, what they're afraid for us to be, man. The masculinity in itself is just demonized, bro. So it's not really a lot of fight back because the world won't allow us to right now, man. So it's definitely a woman's world right now.
You saying it's a gynocentric order? You saying the women are winning right now?
Absolutely, bro. It's not even close.
Marcus, is there a gender war right now, brother?
I wouldn't say it's a gender war, because I don't think there's any competition between men and women as far as it goes as like, what are they trying to compete with us for? Like, we can't battle with them. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're putting up a little fight, but to me, I could never, it's the word war. You get what I'm saying? Like, for me, between men and women, as soon as you start using that, women are going to jump on it like we're attacking them rather than just telling the truth. Do you get what I'm saying? So to call it a war, for me, it's just men telling their truth, like, finally.
All right, cool. So if you're saying that there's no competition, Stevie just said that men are getting their arse whooped right now, right? But but you said there's no competition.
Yeah, because I mean, for me personally, like, when men stop going with certain chicks, when men stop, kind of like, if we get rid of the simps, we don't really have a problem with women, because they're gonna have to acquiesce, innit? Like, what are they gonna do when there's no more simps? When men are talking that real shit, like, what are they gonna do after that? So, for me, again, it's not really about if there's a war and are women hammering us down right about now. For me, it's just simply like the family unit is this in a mess, innit? So when the family unit's in a mess, how can women think they're winning? It's a logical thing. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, how can they be beating us if? And I agree with a lot of Stevie's points, and I watch most of his videos. Do you get what I'm saying? But for me, just giving them like the thing to say it's a war, makes them think that they can actually level with it.
They can compete.
Yeah, there's not a competition.
Stevie, is there a competition, you think, bro?
I think he's only explaining one layer to it, right? I think there's a lot more dimensions to it, man, because when I think of warfare, I think about the totality of circumstances, bro. And right now, at least society, for the majority of people, women definitely have all the leverage. Like, get granted, like the powers that be, the people, the puppeteers, for lack of better terms, who is really like making society move. The majority of these people are men, but the actual in the real world, you know what I'm saying, in present time, men are just on the low end of the totem pole in regards to everything, bro. When it comes to marriage, criminal law, paternity system, the double standards in society, where men are the ones being targeted when it comes to like essay or grape or when you put domestic violence, things of that nature, man. Like I know man versus women war. I know how that sounds, but it's really a lot more. It's a lot more going on than actual warfare. Like society is right now is constructed to benefit women, and it's not even close right now. They have the majority, at least here in America. It's more women than men. They're getting an education. They're getting higher paying jobs. The feminist movement has turned these women into men by default, turning men into women. You know what I'm saying? Like the men out here that really embodying masculinity, who are not afraid to say it, who aren't really worried about cancel culture. Like that's few and far between, man. Most people are afraid to speak their thoughts, man. That's like a masculine trait. You know what I'm saying? I think there's a lot more going on than just single family households and like, of course, a woman trying to fight a man or things of that nature. That's a whole different conversation. But like really looking at what's going on, bro. I think men are getting their ass whooped.
Do you know what, Stevie?
That's 30% of men, 30 years old or less, and even having sex, bro. Like that's crazy, dog. The porn industry fucking men's heads up, bro.
One in
women
three
are empowered to be hoes and shit. Like we getting our ass drugged.
What it is, the stat you said is 1 in 3 men between the age of 18 to 35 have not had sex in the last year or are virgins. So. You brought up something there, Stevie. Yeah, you said men can be women and women can be men. I want to kind of ask, because you just made my brain go somewhere. Do you think that's part of the war, that men are being told that they can't be men and they have to be women now? Marcus, do you think that's part? Because I know you don't like the word war. But if men are now being more feminine, isn't that a war against masculinity?
Yeah, but again, bro, like for me, I grew up in
word just fucking with him.
Sorry, say again, Steve.
I think the word war may just be getting you.
Yeah, it is. It is because I the household I grew up in, it's not like women were a competition or could be a competition to men. You get what I'm saying? Maybe that's just my own individual experience, yeah? But like when I see a lot of men out here now, like I can only stand up for the man them, but it's just at the same time, it's like I see a lot of, okay, this is the situation. Women are getting put on a totem pole. They have for time, innit? Like this isn't just started, yeah? But yeah, I see a lot of my brothers still being like, all right, I'ma still go out with this type of woman or that type of, the same women we're talking about now. Like the guys will still date them, right? The guys will still impregnate these women, right?
What, these crazy modern day
women? And we know that this hasn't just started, but yet a lot of guys are still getting with these chicks. Like, look at the rappers, yeah? They're still dating. And then they influence a lot of men, right?
Right.
So what's the point where we turn around and say as men, yeah, like to our sons and to our nephews and etc. Yeah, when's the point that we turn around and say like, don't follow this type of man because that type of man leads you to this type of woman?
Right. That's one of the points that I want to make. Like, is it time, Stevie? Yeah. Do you think it's time for men to start talking to men and saying that type of man is not the type of man that we need to be?
Absolutely, bro.
Right.
Absolutely. Right. But I don't. His example, I don't think that is really going to make the pendulum swing a different way if we, were to accommodate that. So, say for instance, the majority of men stop simping. Right? Is that gonna change the outcome of when a man gets his ass beat in court when it comes to paternity court? Is that going to change the higher rates in which we have to go to jail compared to women when they commit the same crime? Is that going to change the optics of when the cop pulls up and there's a domestic violence situation taking place? Like when I'm talking about war, I'm talking about these all these circumstances that are really putting men in a bind. You know what I'm saying? Is that going to change the fact that men are no longer seeking, higher education as much anymore because the burden of I'm having a brain fart right now, man. But the burden to be a man is as large as it is. Is it going to change these things? Like, us, just the inner dynamics of like men and women dating. That's cool. We can talk about that shit all day and like get men learned up to navigate through that space as best as possible. But what we really need to be focusing on is how to get men to navigate this space where they're not going to get taken advantage of by society as a whole. And right now, to me, the war is society demonizing, not even demonizing men, but like, not putting any worth to a man's life. Like, we just get looked over, bro. Like all the energy, all of the weight, everything is placed in the female's hand, bro. They pretty much dictate everything, bro, for the majority.
But the thing is, so Stevie, let me just cut you there, brother. Yeah. Who placed that power in the female's hands?
Ooh, that's loaded.
I'm saying, like, did men place that power in females' hands?
As far as like the examples I was providing?
Yeah, like, because for me, right, I'm just trying to figure out, because I agree with everything that you're saying. It's a gynocentric order right now. Yeah. Women have too much power in society. Women can take, like, I did a show yesterday with Pearl, right? And we were talking about divorce. And I was saying a woman can cheat on a man, then divorce him, take his house, take his cars, take his children, and then dictate to that man when and where he can or cannot see his children. Bro, that's too much power for one person to have. For me, right?
I know where it comes from, though. It comes every time we have an issue that's like layered like this, you trace it back to the dollar, bro. Every time. Because the way court systems are set up right now stem from how it really needed to be when the man was the breadwinner and the mother wasn't making any money. And God forbid, like the man dies or he leaves his women. Now the woman shit out of luck. Like she has nothing to take care of herself. So they implemented laws to accommodate that, right? In the traditional times. But now we sped up to these modern times where those same policies are no longer needed, but they haven't adjusted accordingly. So now you have all these modern ass women who are totally capable of being able to take care of themselves, but they're still taking advantage of how the court systems have always been to exploit men's finances, bro. Like the divorce court, paternity court, all they looking for is the dollar. That's it. And they're sucking you dry. They can give two fucks about who got the baby, who's this, that, and the third. Like, where the money at? And most times than not, the men have the money, so they're gonna take that. They're gonna take that money from men. You know what I'm saying? All this shit, feminist movement, trace it back to the dollar, bro. Like, granted, feminist movement came from like not being able to vote. And regardless how you feel about that shit, that's where it stemmed from. But fast forward to 2022, this third wave feminism shit's got out of hand. Women can do whatever they want. Trace it to the dollar. How much purchasing power do women have today? Pretty much all of it, dog. All of it. So now you empower these women to go out here and spend $1, and then you feminize these men and keep them in these holes, keep it in these pockets where they can't do shit, bro. Just empower these women to be hoes and spend money and all that shit and keep the economy going, bro. That's all it is. It's all it is.
Marcus, do you think the reason why women have so much power now is because of money?
Yeah, I can't go against that. Like, yeah, because you can see the change in the household. Yeah, over the last 25 years, you can see a massive change. Yeah, and it is, a lot of it is financial. So I agree with Stevie on that 100%. My only input on that again is like, how did it get to that stage? This is a question I keep on asking about this subject. Yeah, it's like, how did it get to the stage? Like, other men must have made laws, made rules to put the general everyday man in this position.
At a disadvantage.
Yeah, like when my father was growing up, he was making money. Yeah. My mum was a bank manager, bro. Like she was doing her thing too. But the household had a focus in it where my father ran that household, bro. Yeah. That's not to say my mum didn't have no input in the household. But now what I'm looking at now is not just, I agree with Stevie totally on it's all about that pound, it's all about that dollar. But at the same time, what is once women start making so much money through this, yeah?
Yeah.
Where does it then go?
Where does the money go?
No, they're making all the money now, or they start to make all the money now, yeah? So what, does it flip back round for the courts to start looking to give men the opportunities now because women are making all the money and the courts want all the money? Does it flip back round now?
No.
It doesn't.
It doesn't.
So we just fade to black.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what's going on, right? We just fade to black, bro. Like that's what it's looking like. Like we just fade to black, bro. And that's what I'm saying. Go on, Stevie.
I think about this shit, bro. Like what is it gonna turn into? And I don't think that men will ever get to the point where they fade to black, because if it comes to that extent, man, like the real man gonna stand up and fucking fight back, dog. And
Agreed.
But I think biology is always gonna be a factor, bro. Like feminists haven't been empowered to fucking self-destruct, because being able to have money and provide things of that nature, bro, that's a burden on the men to have. Like, a woman can feel, comfortable and powerful at the end of the day, but like biologically and hypergamy, all that shit is real, bro. So no matter how successful a woman gets and her accomplishments, she wants a man to be at her level or better, dog. So biology is going to get to the point where you have all these women making all this fucking money, whatever. They're not fucking happy. They're going to end up finding the fucking men that's going to put them in their place. I think what's going to happen is it's going to be polygamy out the ass. You have one man for fucking 30 bitches, dog. That's what I think is going to fucking happen until we instill confidence enough in men to get them back on the same page, bro.
Listen, Stevie, 7,000 years ago, right? One man was reproducing with, I think it was 17 women. So when you're saying polygamy is going to be, I really do. I see you. I see that coming back into play right now. Because I personally believe that, like I've said, hypergamy is on steroids right now, right? Yeah. So literally you have literally every woman looking to a 5% type man, right? Stevie, you can probably you're a muscular dude, you know what I'm saying? Like you do your thing. I'm sure there are many women, even though you've got your lady, I'm sure there are many women that probably want to get in on what you have, right? So what is happening? And they would literally, and we can see it even with the show that I do weekly. You see it, Marcus. Women will literally shun regular dudes who they think are regular, guys that work at Starbucks, guys that stack shelves, guys that are making 40 grand a year, whatever, right? They will literally shun those guys and be looking right at the top, but not realizing, but they do realize also as well, that guy's got at least 50 women at his disposal, right? Yep. So then what's that guy to do? What's that guy to do?
Be the good guy and be faithful and monogamous. You know that
shit get tied down. That's what I was just about to say.
Come on, man.
He's still gonna get locked down by one in the present society, man.
Like, what's he? All right, listen. I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Yeah. All right, cool. What advice, would you give to men to help them with the current way that women are acting? What advice would you give to general men, Stevie? I'll go to you, Stevie, and I'll go to you, Marcus. What advice would you give to the average man in regards to women nowadays?
I would say, don't even be thinking about hoes and just focus on your purpose, bro. I mean, but that's easier said than done, because it's essentially talking to myself 10, 15 years ago. Like, what would I tell myself? What would I tell myself? But I know how I was, bro. I think about this shit all the fucking time. Like, as studious and as knowledgeable as I am on this subject at this point right now, if I was to bring this information to a motherfucker like me at 23, 24 years old, who's out here running these streets, fucking hoes, all that shit, I'm not trying to hear anything an old head got to say to me, bro. I'm going to do what I got to do. You know what I'm saying? But like, But that struggle is real. It's like, bro, leave the hoes alone, focus on your bag. 22, 20, 23, 24 years old. Leave the hoes alone, focus on your bag. I mean, that sounds cool, but it's rough. It's rough.
Marcus, what advice would you give to the average dude about women, man?
Oh no, my answer's simple. It's just like listen to people like ourselves and Stevie.
Yeah, but like Stevie was saying, the old heads couldn't talk to you at that age.
Well,
like
culling of the herd, didn't it? Like culling of the herd.
Could anybody tell you something to change your mind when you was 22, 23 years old running around the streets?
No way. I totally agree with that, Stevie. But you know what it is? Let me ask you a question back, Stevie, yeah? Would you say now, from when you was like running around doing your thing to now, would you say it's even more dangerous now for a man to be running around how you was running around back then?
Absolutely.
So as it gets more and more dangerous, do you not think that these men are going to start to stray away? Because I've seen the so-called manosphere move up. More men are watching it now than ever before. More younger men are watching it. You got a lot of young men that watch you now. You
talking real shit though, bro, because when I was that age, I wasn't hip to this red pill shit. I was out here just doing my thing. And you know, Sa Ra said it shit too. Like, I would definitely just be in, but then this red pill shit can get real toxic, dog. Like, you gotta find men that actually say some real shit that you can utilize, bro. And it's hard to do too. Like, on all these platforms, you can fall down a rabbit hole and end up hating women and shit. You know what I'm saying? So you got to figure out who's really out here to fucking, put you in a position to be successful, dog. But like, if I was aware of this manosphere space and I was 22, 23 years old, that definitely would have helped me, get my life on track a lot earlier.
The thing is, Steve, you just mentioned something there. I want to talk to you about it as well. This red pill space, this manosphere space, there's a dark side to this place,
Yeah.
There's a dark side where men are literally, like Stevie was saying, they hate women, bro. Like, and so for me, any man that's a man knows that hating women just doesn't work, bro. Because as men, we know that we're gonna need women, right? Right, and women are gonna need us. We know that because we like vagina. You know what I'm saying? We like pussy. Like it is what it is, right? So you can't hate women. Essentially, you have to find a balance in a way in which you need to like navigate that space. But a lot of the red pill space, a lot of what I see, a lot of the younger guys and even some of the older guys, they're just angry, bro. Like, they're just angry at women. And the thing is, it's not like I don't understand their anger, but some of it is very unhealthy.
But then what do you do though, bro? Because now I'm only thinking about my perspective. Because I don't think I could ever get to the point where I hate women, because I've never been in a position where, like, women have never been a problem for me. But the most men, that's an issue for them, is even attaining attention from a woman. So I can easily see how red pill would make a man who can't get women hate women. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I feel like that's more of the majority in the space right now. It's easy to hate women if you're the average man who is invisible to women. You know what? Fuck these hoes. Like, they ain't on shit. Or like, how do you mitigate that? That's more of an issue to me, because men who don't have issues with women are not going to be out here hating women. You may not never take them serious. We're never going to hate them.
Like, that's what I'm trying to say. Like,
yeah.
What do you think, Mark?
I mean, I agree with both of you on that. What I would say is that you're both very right on how dangerous it can get, because on the psychological side of things, a lot of these young men who don't get no girls in the first place,
right.
I'm seeing a lot of comments online that sound kind of a bit stalkerish, a bit
dangerous, bro.
Yeah, some psychotic kind of like. I saw a comment one time where one guy was saying, like, the way to get rid of women. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
Rather than how he's gonna navigate himself through the world. He was like, how do we get rid of them? And I was like, no. But he's
get
coming
rid of who? Like,
but he's coming had likes though. His comment had likes.
Mm.
And I was like, that's where we're going off rather than how we're meant to have like kind of a way forward for men. Through all of what Stevie said, we need a way forward, but I don't know about getting rid of or like walking around with full-time hatred for women. That's not even my angle.
A lot of times that's the easy way out for them, though, is like, I can't get women in red pill. It's the red pill space is giving me reason to actually hate women because a lot of them just highlight women as the fucking devil. Like, you know how they be talking about them and shit, and then that just won't create animosity for these men. And we need more positive fucking positive outlets for these men to navigate this space. But then at the same time, all that toxic animosity shit gets the views too. You know what I'm saying? So
But I think what it is that, and this is why I like this space. This is why I collab with you, Stevie, because you seem a little bit more balanced. While you may be for men, and I advocate for men, and Marcus, we both advocate for men, but we understand it needs to be balanced. Do you get what I'm saying? It needs to be balanced because the bottom line is, I've got a son. Yeah, Stevie, you got what? 2 children?
Yeah.
Right, Marcus, you got a child, and that's the thing. As older,
I got a daughter.
You got a daughter.
Yeah,
you got my daughter.
Yeah.
That's my daughter. His daughter's my daughter. So what I'm trying to say is like, when men become like fathers, this is my personal point of view. When men become fathers, they understand the balance that's needed between the male and female.
Yeah,
do you get what I'm saying? Like they understand that, like men who. And I'm not trying to disrespect men who don't have children. I'm not trying to do that because there's a lot of men within the space that don't. But you just understand there's a switch that goes off. Like, even though I may not even like the mother of my child, right? We still understand that there needs to be some kind of balance between the male and female, bro, because there's a child involved within this now. And we're all children at some point in time. Even though we're grown men, we're still somebody's child. You know what I'm saying? We're still somebody's child. So it's like, there needs to be a balance, bro. Like, and I think that men within this space who have children who have experience as well, Stevie, and Marcus.
That's the bro. I don't want to cut you off, but that you hit the nail on the head for that shit for me too, bro. Because a lot of motherfuckers in the space, you can tell that they just regurgitating information that they've heard. They're not walking it or talking it. They're talking it, but they're not walking it. You know what I'm saying? That irritates the fuck out of me, bro. Like, you saying all this shit, that, and the third. And, bro, how old are you? What you saying? What got you to feel so confident in what the fuck you saying, bro? Because all this me, I'm alpha, high value man, elite. That shit don't fucking work in real life, though. I don't give a fuck who you are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And you need, and it goes right back in what you're saying, Sa Ra. Like, you need balance in this bitch, dog. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can take it a step further. Think about your relationship with your mom. Would you treat your mom the way you view women today, bro? It doesn't, like, we human at the end of the day, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about balance, bro. That's real shit.
And that's the theme. Like, for me, it's the child element for me. You know what I'm saying? Like I may not have a great relationship with my son's mother, right? But I understand that he needs his mother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he needs his mother to be at her best. And he needs me to be at my best. And for her to be at her best and for me to be at my best, we may need to work together. Do you know what I'm saying? Just to make him his best.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? So it's like, a lot of the time in this quote unquote gender war space, I think a lot of the quote unquote gender wars are happening between people who don't realize that there's a future for children within this. Does that make sense?
And you know what I find funny about that? Is that in schools now, and not just in schools, all over the place, all we're seeing is like rainbow flags and a lot of rainbow flag education, innit? Yeah? And as me, you, and Stevie like have this conversation, I've always been a massive advocate for social studies on a whole, and special social studies when it comes to relationships. Because a lot of these young males, like, they learn whatever subjects they'll be learning at school, science, maths, the whole lot, English, but that social studies, that when you leave school and how you relate with people and how you relate with people online. Because a lot of, I find with solution bit-wise, if these young men don't have a good understanding when they're leaving school about
Yeah.
what's socially out there for them,
Right.
yeah, like, and all you know is about this person's equal, that person's equal, everyone's equal, rainbow rights, like, and I'm not stamping on anybody else's rights, but where's the education socially for straight males? Where is that? Like, since as we're teaching everything else now, and then we can all kind of agree that men seem to be failing socially for whatever reasons we want to deal with. I'm saying, where are the social stats? Like, we got the stats, we're not doing well.
Yeah.
So we need classes, social classes
For straight males.
for straight males to navigate when they leave.
Right.
Because most males that come out of school, they wouldn't even know about paying their bills, bro. Yeah. But they will be thinking about what to buy a woman.
That's
You get
true.
what I'm saying?
That's true.
Like, so first and foremost is your social studies, because something Stevie said earlier, which kind of hit the nail on the head for me, is like how you gonna guide yourself as a young 21-year-old, 19-year-old? Like, how you gonna guide yourself if there's no classes, but you've learned about everybody else's rights, everybody else's equality,
except for your own.
Except for your own. You get what I'm saying? Like, where'd you? It's funny that
you got these kids out here walking around lost because of that, bro. That's real shit. Men just, and it's expected. The burden is placed on you. It's expected for you to fucking be able to figure it out. But there's no outlets for men to seek to assist with that. It's just, you a man, figure it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy though.
That's it. Yeah,
that's
you're
crazy.
a young boy, figure it out.
That's crazy.
And especially if you even want to bring the race thing into it, you're a young black boy, figure this shit out.
That's double.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you're a young black boy, figure this shit out. You know, like, where's... Damn, this shit is deep.
We need
deep today, bro.
We need role models, bro. We need people
right.
that, you know, but the male role model, like, I think about that shit too. Like, what is a good example of a role model type of man that we will want to exemplify the men that we feel is lacking today? You know what I mean? Like, I could tell you fucking, like, you know, 10, 15 years ago, maybe, but nah, like, you know, that feminization of man shit is real, bro. Like, I'm thinking, like, the most polarizing person I can think of right now is probably like The Rock or some shit like that. But he's not your most masculine man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's, and that's no shade on him, you know what I'm saying? But I'm just trying to provide like a picture of what I'm trying to explain. Right. Like, you don't have these, you know, stoic ass men that you know is going to be able to do what we think is lacking. You know what I'm saying?
And then like you said, like, when men are stoic, you know, forthright, assertive, that shit gets shot down. Like, that's quote unquote toxic masculinity, bro.
I want to bring up something to both of you, yeah?
Go on.
Seems as we're on this topic, yeah? Like, we're talking about real role models. Like, when I was young, I used to be like heavily into like football. Stevie, you know, like, as soccer, yeah?
Yeah.
And I used to look up to like certain football players and that, yeah? But you know, this World Cup,
yeah,
I had the shock of my life, you know?
Go on.
Like, say, like, this World Cup, they've said, for those players that are not wearing like the rainbow band,
yes,
because of maybe their religion, yeah, or maybe they just might not agree socially, but they have no hate towards any other group, right?
Yeah.
They've told them, if you don't wear it, you're this, that, and this and the other, yeah. And some of the football players that I grew up respecting, bro, they're on the TV saying, "No, you need to put the armband on, bro.
Yeah,
you need to put the arm." And I'm like, what? Like. Yeah. Bro, like, can't I just not hate someone and not agree?
Yeah.
But they're pounding even on our soccer stars that we grew up with, like actors that you might have rated. Now you're hearing them come out with some lines that you'd be like, bro, if I knew you was moving
20
like
years
that.
ago, your favorite sports star wouldn't have said that shit, bro.
Right. But even they're getting bullied into it now. So like, where's your heroes at? Like, really, 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 like, it gets crazy to the point where I start thinking like,
the masculine,
the only masculine guys that I know that are holding it down now, ain't even doing the right things legally. I'm just talking about
interesting
how they speak with young youth. Like, they will tell them, you know, you gotta even if they're not doing the right thing legally, they'll still tell them, you got to be a man, bro. You got to provide. You got to go out there. You got to do your thing. You know what I mean? Like anybody else, like any celebrity, any black entertainer, like not just black entertainers, but all entertainers now seem to have, funny saying, but they seem to have bent the knee.
But you say it's a war though, bro. Like it's a legit war, dog. To be able to express a difference in opinion, and you get demonized for it, bro. Like a fucking Kyrie, Kanye, bro. That's crazy. The majority of these, hyper successful motherfuckers are scared to voice an opinion because that social backlash, that social castration is real shit. And I mean, granted, is boisterous and as assertive and as masculine as we want to be, as we need men to be. That is a fucking monster in a way, bro. This big, this whatever the fuck you want to call it, dog. That smackdown on, you can't think that. We in a soft ass space, we got to accommodate everybody's fucking feelings. You can't express no difference in opinion. You can't express a thought. Like it's gender war is a war just going on in the world. On top of that as well, dog.
I hear that. Hang on 1 second, guys. Just so you know, we've actually got the StreamYard link up for people to come in and speak. And some people have clicked the link. Some people want to come in and have their say. Anybody that does want to come in and have their say, you can come in and have your say. We'll keep you on for not too long because we got to keep the show moving, etc., etc. But D, we got some people in. We got 3 people in. Oh damn! Like oh shit. Yeah, first come, first serve. Let's get to the first person who was in, and we'll see what they got to say about this subject. Who we got in there? We got Ossiel. Ossiel, what's going on, brother?
Oh man, listening to you guys it's epic. This is gold. This is gonna change the world one day, man. So hopefully it all works out. But
what you have to say? What you have to say, bro?
Oh man, these women are crazy. It's like they do war. I'm serious. It's like if you were to be playing a game of tug of war, they honestly think they could win. It's like I could take maybe 3 of them, and how do they expect one of them just to take me on? That's a fraction of strength.
Like, do you think there's a gender war going on?
Yes, but not like it's not out there. Like it's like they haven't had the guts to actually say, you know what, we hate men and we're gonna go to war for this. We don't like you. Things of that. You get me? Like, if it was us guys doing it, we're gonna go out and you know what, we don't like you. As a matter of fact, we're willing to we create war just to make things peaceful. So again, if this is what they're asking for, they're gonna be in a rude awakening. I'm just not sure if I'm gonna be in it or not.
Fair enough.
I hear that.
That's fair enough, bro.
But, yeah.
Are you in a relationship yourself
now?
You said
Well, it's because I am speaking to this one girl. She's very.
How's that going?
It's good. She speaks her mind, and I like that because if there's something wrong, I know I can fix it. But yeah, like if I was to talk to any other girl, it would just be hell. Like the only way for me to actually swipe to the left, so to say, is by asking a simple question. What's your favorite subject? And if they go on saying something different, it's like, first of all, that's not what I asked. Second, it's just a no. Yeah, I'd rather just hit the ejectocito. You feel me?
Let me just if I teach me how to pronounce your name, please. Sorry.
OCL.
OCL. Okay. What the reason why I would say this space has been created, right, is actually for men, right? To kind of come and express their thoughts, feelings, and opinions. I feel like, I was speaking to Stevie and we were saying, men need a space, Marcus, you know what I'm saying? Like men need a space in which they can express their feelings, and kind of feel safe. You know what I'm saying? Because like for me, I'm not. I've been all types of men throughout my life. I've been the guy who never got girls, right? I've been the geek at school. I've been the class clown, right? And then I kind of grew into the guy that was okay with what women found attractive. Do you know what I'm saying? So I've kind of seen this space from like a few angles. So for me, yeah, I just want men to understand that this space right here is safe for you to come, have your say, have your piece. We're going to talk about some, as Stevie likes to say, masculinist shit. Yeah, we're going to be masculinists over here. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be masculinists over here. And yeah, man, I appreciate you also. But we do have a few other people, you know, that are trying to come in too, bro. So I'm going to thank you very much for joining the conversation. You know, we're going to be here again next week. If you want to come in again next week, come in, brother.
Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Glad to oblige, man.
All right then, brother. Appreciate you. D, who else we got? Who else we got next, bro? All right, we got Z coming in. Where's Z at?
Yeah, I think his mic is off.
Z's mic. Z's your mic on? Unmute your mic, brother. No, he's not. All right, we'll get someone else. Get someone else in. Z's not there.
Can you guys
Salute.
Yeah, we can hear you, brother.
What's up? What's up? Greetings from Germany. How y'all doing?
Oh, wow. Greetings from Germany, brother. How you doing?
Doing all right. I truly love what the gentleman said with the Dwayne Wade kind of cut. In our community, we're taught how to be stepfathers before we're taught how to be men. And one of the important things that I think that this space is starting to become, and hopefully that's going to be the elevation, we got to figure out a way to educate our children. And not just the girls, but our boys. And the way that he was speaking about how all these other groups with the rainbow flag have a way to influence children. I think straight Black men should make a group and try to do the exact same things, because I think we all know that the public school system, especially in America for Black boys, is a joke. And the things that you said about teaching young boys how to deal with bills, I think we also need to teach how to deal with de-escalation. I think especially in our community, we need to figure out how to argue different, how to teach how to walk away, because those are the things that truly destroy us. And yes, there's a gender war, but I think if you know women, you truly have to understand how to analyze and look through it. And too many men are having too many arguments, trying to argue logic with women who are trying to play dumb. Whenever you're getting that energy, it's wasted energy. You cannot argue logic with somebody who doesn't want to see it. And there's too many times in this space where it's like, I've seen even you, Sa, where you say something that's completely logical, and it just, and women are not dumb, but they know exactly what it is we're trying to say. But for some reason, it's just a code that they kind of stick by. And same thing you try to do with white people sometimes, when you try to break down logically what the issue is, and they're just like, sir, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but you're playing dumb, you're playing naive. And I think we get that with a lot of women, and then we kind of get frustrated. Men, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about your tone. Don't worry about how you say something. If you're the right kind of person and you are living your truth, making your money, and pretty much finding your own happiness, you won't even find yourself in the space arguing with women. You'll just say your piece and be gone.
Right.
I respect that. I respect that. Do you have any questions for the guest, Stevie?
Absolutely. I was wondering, what is your thoughts on marrying or having children outside of America? Because your USA father rights are much stronger outside of America.
I'm all for wherever it's easiest for you to find happiness, bro. I'm not against that at all. That's what needs to take place in order for you to attain that. Then I'm all for it. You know, there's a whole movement, right, of men going outside of America to find significant others and spouses. If that's easier, then go ahead and do it.
Well, what do you think about the next level of just saying, well, I'm only going to procreate outside of America? Because now you don't have to deal with the family structure and family court laws that are completely archaic.
I'm not against it either, bro. I'm not against it either, bro. Like, my stance is on marriage and paternity law and family law here in America, bro. Like, I understand wholeheartedly why a man will want to seek a woman outside of the U.S. because you're not going to come into contact with as many obstacles, bro. They make it extremely hard, and to put that amount of your life into the hands of a woman here or the court systems here, the government here, it's not a good bet. So I'm totally for that.
Okay, man, I really appreciate what you guys are doing here, and again, it's definitely needed. And I truly think that for somehow we in this community, in this internet space, we really need to figure out a way to reach to the young kids and have these kind of conversations with them so they don't make the same mistakes that we've seen our uncles. We had shitty uncles teaching us how to be men.
You need to spread the word, brother. Spread the word,
I'm doing
bro.
my part here in Germany, that's for sure.
Nice.
Appreciate
All right,
you,
thank you very much, man. I appreciate you, brother.
Salute.
Easy, man.
He's dope. He's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, indeed.
The best I got from that, man, like Kanye said it best too. He said, only talk to people who's willing to listen. If they're not willing to listen, bro, don't waste your breath. And
Right.
like a lot of times on these podcasts or these red pill spaces, they bring women up here to try to talk to them. We already know the women are not going to try to hear it all what the fuck they saying. It's most of that shit's for entertainment value purposes anyway, but like logic and emotion, it's like with oil and water. This shit
Oil and water,
mix.
yeah. It's true. I want to talk about leadership, guys. I want to talk about leadership. Do you think men of this day and age need leadership, or do they need to lead themselves? Do you think they need to look towards a central figure? For instance, the reason why I ask this question is Andrew Tate seems to be a lot of men's quote unquote leader, right? And he's got a huge following from young men to old men. Is that what men need, or do they need to be their own leaders?
I definitely think men need leaders right now because the shit is so off balance.
Right.
Right. And Tate, he's extremely polarizing, and he represents pretty much the perfect situation for a man, which is pretty unattainable. I think what would serve better for men in that purpose was a man that better represents an average man saying some shit like that, because most men are never going to be able to attain what Tate is saying. Or maybe his delivery a little bit different, bro, because when you dangle like, the best life ever in front of most men, it can either be encouraging or discouraging. And, however that presents itself, dog. But my main point is I definitely think men need leadership. We have no role models. We don't have any examples of what a good male leader looks like right now. And then anytime we do try to have it, they try to tear him down. So
what do you think, Marcus? Do men need leadership, or they need to be their own leaders?
Yeah, all men need leadership. That's standard. That's from beginning of time. Like, men need leadership. Yeah, that's standard. But I think something we can do in the meantime is men of like minds can at least get together and just set some guidelines. Just to, I don't mean anything too deep, just to start off with something, just set maybe 10 points that can help men like ourselves sit down, reason, find 10 points.
You've already got more than 10 points.
I got more than 10 points, but I'm saying, like, with Stevie,
this guy's writing a whole book. Like, he's trying to downplay the shit, but this guy's writing a whole book. But go on, go on.
Yeah, no, I just feel like the connection which has happened today is just one of those things that starts it off. Yeah,
right.
Where if I just ask Stevie, like, next week, can you just email me over 2 major things that you think is important from a male's life?
Yeah, from
11 to 25. Like in that space, just give me 2 things. Then I ask you for 2 things. Yeah. Then I supply 2 things. 2 things. Yeah. We're already next to 10. Like we got 4 more, and that would be it. And this is what I'm saying. Like, we don't have to.
1 second, we got our guest coming. Go on, Mark.
Yeah, I don't think all the time, Stevie, we need to as like with the black people, we always say like we need to unite. Like, all black people must unite before anything moves. I don't agree with that, bro. I just think like when certain heads get together, they can make the right moves. They can make small ideas which turn into big ideas, just like podcasts. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah,
I think the small things into big things, step by step. But leadership is a must.
absolutely. I agree.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, we've still got a guest coming through. They were just asking us how to get to the building. Yeah, so those two things. Even if we go into it now, like you said, two things. Seeing as you said it, bro. You know what I'm saying? Seeing as you said it, like, what two things do you think a male needs from that age? Would you say, Marcus? From the age of 11?
I'm gonna be really simple. I'm gonna be really simple.
Yeah.
Like, first and foremost, most important, should be near the top of the list, a father figure.
Okay.
Number one.
Number one. Number one. Like, and then
Steve is a number one.
For my own personal. Second, is I'll just use the point that I made earlier. That child must be taught a realistic social understanding of the reality that we're living in today. So basically, how are relationships in the modern age? You must get taught that from an early age. You must get taught that there's going to be women that you might meet that might just want to strip you for everything you have. You got what I'm saying? That's got to be a reality from a younger age now, because it's happening to them at a younger age. So I would just say social understanding. And as I said, number one, you got to have some type of father figure.
Do you know what? One of the things I think is major from that age, from 11 to 25, to actually that is specifically a male needs.
Yeah,
is to learn a skill.
I like that.
Like I just think I don't care it could be playing piano, bro. Do you know what I mean? It could be martial arts. I think to occupy your time at that age with something outside of the things that can distract you and get you into trouble. You know, like, you need a skill and you need to be able to focus on that skill. You see, for me, it's crazy. Like, when I was growing up in primary school, I think Americans call that when you get to the age 11, Stevie, what's the name of the school you call it? It's not so elementary, is it? Is it elementary school?
Middle school.
Middle school.
Yeah.
I played violin. You know, you play violin? Yeah, I played the fucking violin, bro.
Yeah, wow, I didn't even know that.
I played the violin, bro, right? But if you give me a violin now, at my age, I don't know what to do with it. But between that time and what the violin done for me, I was playing it so much that I would do concerts outside of school after hours.
Yeah.
I was doing stuff that when other kids were hanging around the street corners doing bullshit, I was going to concerts playing the fucking violin, bro. Yeah. I can't play the violin now in my old age. But what I do know is that at that age, when I learned that skill, it kept me out of certain spaces. So I think that between that age, you need to learn a skill.
So your second one?
Second one is, I think, okay, I don't know a second one. I don't know a second one at this point. I can't think of it, but I think learn a skill.
Pass it on to Stevie.
What do you think, Stevie? Between that age, what do you think is essential?
You need to have a dope ass circle of friends.
Yeah.
Your homies gotta be right. Like, you are your company you keep, but you gotta have like homies that take a bullet for you if need be. Not that extreme, but you know what I'm saying? Like, I know my circle, like, they definitely take a bullet for me. You know what I'm saying? And you need a circle of homies you can confide in and talk to about anything. You're not gonna be judged. Like, definitely right now, as lonely as the man's life can be right now, like, if your friends can pull you out of some dark spaces.
That's something I was gonna touch on too. Like, when it comes to friends, Stevie, do you have the same group of friends that you had 20 years ago that you have now?
It's a mix. I got some homies that I've known since I was 11, 12, and then some of my best friends I've met in the past 5 years, but it's a small circle. And then the older you get, the harder it is to find people that stick too.
Right. What about you, Marcus? Do you have the same group when you were like young?
I've actually, without brag, like, I've added to it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I've added to it. I'm not gonna say I haven't lost friends along the way, but I've actually added to it because they're like my prototype. So if you can fit in with that, then we can add to it. But I say this though, it's getting harder to find new friends, and I wouldn't be looking. Put it that way. Not at the moment.
Right.
So a good measuring stick to know if somebody really rock with you is if you can leave your girl alone with them.
Hey,
Stevie, talking
because I know plenty of people, dog. I'm friendly with a bunch of motherfuckers, but you know what I'm saying? There's only a certain amount where I can leave for a fucking weekend and my dog is here. Ain't shit gonna go down. That's like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's how you fucking know for sure.
Also, Stevie, as much as leaving your girl around them is leaving your children around them.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, like your girl is one thing, but because my whole thing is, right, women can come and go, right? They can, but your children, yeah, they're there for life, bro.
They're gonna look at the child as their kid,
right? And if I can leave my child around somebody, that lets me know that person's down for me.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, and I'll go back. That's why I think men and women with children, yeah, should be the ones that are leading the push in the space between trying to get the quote unquote genders to come to some kind of balance. Because we are not just thinking about ourselves. Do you know what I'm saying? We're thinking, hang on a minute, Stevie's got what, 2 children now, bro?
Yep.
You're thinking, what's the world gonna be like for my 2 children? If this stays the way it stays, what's it gonna be like for them? Like,
yeah, but that's what Stevie got me shook on earlier, though. You know that for real. Like when he was saying like the way things are going.
Yeah.
I had a little shiver. Like like what is gonna be the solution here?
Yeah. If we just keep going battling heads, loggerheads.
Yeah.
Like, what's that gonna be like for my son?
Because you know. I got a crazy question for you, Steve. It's not that crazy. It's like kind of straightforward, to be honest. But what do you think about this push for women doing sport with men?
It's the dumbest shit ever.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's the dumbest shit ever, man.
You know, like sorry, bro, go.
No, I'm saying but it ain't surprising. Don't shit surprise me anymore. I mean, it makes sense given the current, you know, societal climate that we're in right now. But it's insane. Like, why would you? There's nothing positive about that besides nothing. It's just we're in a soft ass space where you got to accommodate people's feelings before people's safety.
And the thing is, I hate to come at people again. I'm not trying to come at people with no children, bro. Like, this is really not my thing. It's like, if the gender war continues to ensue, men going at women, women going at men, right? And other people's children continue to see men going at women and women going at men, right? What is going to be their perception of the different genders? Like, don't we need to show those children that men and women can actually come to some kind of common ground? Is that not our responsibility? It
is our responsibility, and I don't want to sidetrack your point.
Yeah, go on.
But I got told something by the wife today. Yeah, like there was a child at school. Yeah, and her dad came to pick her up, right? And she was just smacking up her dad, bro.
He was smacking her dad.
The little girl was smacking up her dad in front of the teachers, everything, like dragging him on his clothes, everything. And as the missus was telling me this, yeah, I was like, you would think when a father comes to pick up his daughter, yeah?
Right, yeah.
That's the most humble she's going to be.
She's going to be, yeah, because the daddy's there, right?
But this little girl was doing it in front of, like, the teachers, everyone, fam. And I was just like, when I was being told this story, and I know the little girl from the school, yeah, but I was like, what changes that? Like, what makes it happen, and how do you change that?
What makes a daughter like that?
Yeah, what she don't care that her dad's there.
She don't respect her father, man.
Yeah, and what do you feel, both of you, like, what do you feel brought about that situation? Where she feels she can physically hit her dad in front of other people.
Didn't lay the law down from the get-go. He can't have laid the law down from the get-go.
You know the irony in that, yeah? He's a Middle Eastern type man.
Bro, I don't know. You tell me, brother.
No, I don't have the answers. Like,
Right,
literally, I'm
okay.
saying it's something I saw today, which threw me off even more. Like, Middle Eastern guys normally got their
daughters
in
on lock.
check, but
Yeah,
he was just taking, like, the daughter was just punching him, everything. I just found it strange, like something. It was a very strange thing to be done.
If I saw that, it wouldn't. Like I said, it doesn't surprise me though, bro. It doesn't surprise me. That's a result of the feminist movement, bro. Like a little microcosm of it, dog. We got a little girl putting her hands on her pops. That means that dad don't have no balls at all at home, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's just a representation of where a lot of people sit right now, bro. I bet the mom wears the pants in a relationship. You know what I mean? Like that's unheard of, bro.
Yeah, I thought the long-term ramifications of that is not going to be good.
Right. Folks, you can do it when you want. We just got a new guest come in.
Welcome.
Hi, Lola.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm good.
Thank you for joining us. I'm just going to introduce. This is Stevie. Stevie's joining us from the US right now. We're gonna adjust the camera. We're gonna adjust the camera so the folks can see us. Lola, that's Marcus to your right.
Oh, yeah.
Marcus, that's Lola. Yeah, we'll give you a lowdown. I'm gonna give you a lowdown. So we're talking about the quote unquote gender war, right, between men and women, and whether or not there is a gender war, and what the reason is for the quote unquote gender war. So I'm gonna ask you a question. D, have you adjusted the camera? Yeah. So the first question I'm gonna ask you, Lola, to get you involved, I'm gonna throw you in a deep end. I'm gonna throw you in a deep end. Can you hear us, Stevie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, cool. Yeah, just come a little bit closer to the mic if you can. What advice?
How many pillows you got?
you want another pillow?
Do you want to go for it?
Equality. You need 2 pillows.
Equality. You want 2 pillows? She wants 2 pillows. Let the audience see her. D. Let's see Lola.
It's gonna be underwhelming now they've built it up. No.
We're gonna get Lola in on the camera because we can hear Lola, but we can't actually see her. Oh, hang on. Yeah, adjust it a little bit. Nope, we can't see her.
Yeah, no,
I can see me.
Oh, snap! There you go.
I can see
Oh,
me.
my thing. So where's Marcus? Can you get them both in?
Should we sit closer?
Okay. Can you zoom out so you can see both of them? Yeah, let's get them both in
Should
there.
we sit closer?
Yeah,
Come on, it's the winner.
No, he's gonna zoom.
We'll jump up.
We'll huddle.
You're gonna zoom out a little bit.
Okay, cool. We're done. We're there.
Yeah, Lola. So,
Cool.
what advice, right, would you give to women to help the quote unquote gender war that is ensuing right? As a matter of fact, do you even think there's a gender war?
You didn't ask me the.
Yeah, do you even think
serious
there's a
question.
gender war going on right now?
Yes, I do. I think there is a gender war.
Mm-hmm.
I don't agree with it, but I think there is one. I have my reasons for why I think there is one currently, and
Give me
do you
your
want me to
reasons.
go to? There's been a shift in like society and where people sit in terms of hierarchy, right? So traditionally, it was more that women were subordinate to men. So now that there's been like the paradigm shift in terms of like women stepping into like their power, etc., that's then created an element of male ego is always present, but women are having more masculine tendencies and more ego, and therefore there's more competition against men and women. That's one reason I could see that it would make sense if you look at traditionally how we've discussed this before on other shows we've been on. Where you're getting women having more essence of that sort of male, what they'd say traditional male tendencies. So working, bringing in money, maybe even being breadwinners, going out to work, and not necessarily being stay-at-home mums. So they would not necessarily be feeling like they have to compete against their man or a man. It doesn't have to be their man. But now that we're doing more similar things to men, I think that it creates that sort of ego struggle of, well, some men don't like that. Some women now are going, well, I want to be more, I want to one up on you. So it creates this kind of like power shift situation.
What do you think your advice to women would be? to balance out what is going on right now within the war between the genders?
I think women could be a little more kind to men, if I'm honest. I think they could be a little more empathetic. I think traditionally, if you're looking at the power shift of like, now that we're stepping into our power and our essence of like, we can do this, we can do that. Also look at the fact that we've had expectations of men to do everything, but we're not giving them any leeway to say, okay, right, maybe chill. I think we still maintaining that same expectation of men, and we're not seeing that it's created a shift for both genders.
Right.
So I think in certain scenarios, if women would alleviate the pressures a little bit off of men and have a little bit more empathy for the fact that maybe you guys need a break. So, you know, maybe that would make it a bit easier. But there's a lot of reasons, you know, I think that people are acting this way. But yeah, it's a difficult one. I think women having more of an understanding of men rather than doing like, you know, sometimes you get these women like, I hate when that they're like, oh yeah, all men are this, all men. I hate that shit. It's like, can we just not? Because you're still gonna go and run to the man anyway, but yeah, you're here changing. So I'm not here for all that. Like anyone that knows me knows I'm not into that thing. No, it's not for me. But you know, like they're still gonna go running to that same person that they're disrespecting. So I think if we just had a little bit more base respect, that would be much more helpful. I also don't think things like podcasts and stuff help.
Oh, really?
Sometimes they don't help. I sometimes watch podcasts and I'm like, I'm a solutions-oriented individual. So I'm like, we didn't get any solution. We sat down. We all overshared.
This is what this podcast is for, though. This is
why I said, when you asked me, I said, oh, okay, cool. Yes, I'm interested to find some solutions. You know, we go and everyone overshares about things about their life and bitches about their ex, and then goes home having just overshared and bitched about their ex and not really created any sort of no knowledge sharing or what can we do to uplift each other. And I think especially in the Black communities as well, if you go take it way back and you look at how it was when you had slavery and then we stepped into our truth, and you had the them and us culture with, you know, with white people and Black people and X, Y, and Z, which we still have now. These things take time. It's like generations and generations and generations. But we're in this rush culture. We're in such a rush culture because technology and everything is like overtaking us faster than we can fathom. And we're too accessible. Everything's too present, you know. And I've given you a long answer, but you know I'm not. You know I'm deep. So
no, it's fine. It's fine. This is what it's there for. What do you think about that, Mark?
I'm gonna pass it to Stevie and I'm gonna chime in on that.
All right, cool. Stevie, what do you think about what?
I got a question for her though. Do you think that we can fix the situation we're in right now? Because I don't think that we can fix it. Just based on like the rate it's going.
I think there's also a healthy level of understanding that men and women are different, and we can have like, we talk about a lot about equality and everything and empowerment and stuff, but there's difference between equity and equality that people don't understand. So equity is giving people similar opportunities, but realizing that you need different things to achieve the same end goal, right? So say like there's a window, right, where Sarah's sitting and I'm 5'7", but my mum's 4'10". She might not be able to see out of the window, but to make it equal opportunity would be that we both get a stool the same size. Now I can't see out the window because I'm looking over the window, but she can see out of it. That's equality. Equity is making sure that her stool is the right size for her to also see from my perspective. And when you're looking at things like gender, sorry, I know I've gone overcomplicated. When you're talking about things like gender, I think because we're not created equal, because we're different, this thing of everything has to be completely equal is not giving understanding that we're different. So we're creating power struggles on things that are not gonna be exactly.
So are you saying the push for equality is the wrong thing to do?
No, I don't think it's the wrong thing. I think that people need to understand what they're pushing for, because we also want equality with some things and not with others because we're being selective. That's not equality, really, is it? That's just, you know, selective when it works for you. When it works for you. But I think it's not necessarily like a quick fix scenario. But I think that it all boils down to like respect for each other from both sides, a bit more understanding of each other. So rather than this bitchy narrative being like, how do you actually understand female essence, male essence, etc. And what is the end goal that you're trying to achieve, and how do we go forward in that? And I think especially in certain communities, like if you're in the Black community, we need to find ways to uplift each other. Because if you look at how Black males get treated, it's a tragedy. And if you look at how Black women get treated, it's also a tragedy in other
Right.
ways. So I think, but we're not even looking outside of our own communities to uplift each other in those ways before we even get into the gender situation. So I think it goes a lot more deep into other things.
Steve, sorry, did we lose Stevie?
We lost Steve.
Oh, his camera's not
He
on, but
doesn't
he's still
want
there.
us to see.
Stevie, you still there? He's got some stuff going on. He's got some stuff out. All right, before I wanna play a video. Yeah, I want to play a video, and I want to kind of get everyone's take on it. It's a video that I'd done when I was on one of the shows with Pearl.
Yep.
Have you got that queued up? Yeah. And I kind of want to play a little bit of it, and then I want to kind of get your lots of opinions on it. So yeah, D, play it when you're ready, brother.
But
I think
we are all human. We need love. We are, into that. Like we are.
Yeah, I think human beings need companionship.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, we currently live in a time where, whether you've been on social media or not, like it seems to be like this gender war going on. Do you know what I mean? And it's like men hate women, women hate men, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, essentially, that is only going to lead to more loneliness, essentially. Do you know what I mean? And it's just like, if you're not able to find some kind of middle ground as men and women, then you're just all going to be lonely. You're going to be all going to be lonely and hateful. Like, come on, guys. Like, we need to kind of find some kind of middle ground. Do you know what I mean? And I just think that, I think men are actually, in this society, they're quite upset about feminism because feminism has taken on a very aggressive stance. It's taken on a very aggressive, sorry, go on, pal.
Did you know that even first wave feminism was aggressive? Like even the earliest, forms of feminism was aggressive.
But then it needed to be.
What?
I think first wave feminism maybe it needed to be aggressive.
I don't know. There was bomb threats and
well, not that aggressive. not that aggressive.
There was I can't remember off the top of my head, but Rollo Tomasi talks a lot about it. Like even first wave feminism always was aggressive and had a disdain towards men. Like I think feminism has always been a gender war.
I wouldn't disagree with you there.
Because even if we talk about the right to vote, they act like it was men against women, but it wasn't. Women, if you voted, you were part of the draft. Who's trying to be part of the draft? Not me. Not I. If I had to give it today,
that's equality. You gotta go out there and grab a gun and start shooting. What are you talking about?
Nope, I'll give that back.
I don't want equality in that.
If voting today had to come with the draft, I'm a scaredy cat. I don't do that.
But the thing is, that's very interesting because feminism is essentially women say, and I don't generally believe them, they say it's about equality. But then about equality in what form? Like I said, if there was a war to break out tomorrow, are you saying that the army should be half women and half men? Most women do not want to go out and fight in a war, right? Men understand that there may be their duty to protect their country, their children, their wives, the women of the country. And that is one of the things that a lot of women don't take into consideration. Men do some of the stuff that women just don't want to do.
Goes both ways.
I'm saying, the thing is, we're talking about what it takes to build an actual society and keep it running. Men understand there is a duty to keep the society running. This house was probably built by men. This camera, scaffolding, irrigation systems, plumbing, all of this stuff. Men understand that this has to make society run.
But to transform a house to a home, it's a woman.
Right, but we're not talking about that.
Right,
we're not talking about, the thing is, to
that.
make a home, just to make a home, you need a house.
Yeah.
To make a home. So you're talking about the after, you're talking about aftercare.
Houses as well.
No,
right?
but so at least 90 to 95% of bricklayers are men.
Yeah.
The people that build houses are men. Now, women have the opportunity to be bricklayers, but they're not choosing to be bricklayers. Why?
It's in their nature as men.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. So no, I'm not blaming anyone. I'm saying if you understand that men have to take the dirty, grueling, dusty jobs, right, to get the society done, then really and truly, you ain't got nothing to complain about, because without the dirty, grueling, dusty jobs that we do, you wouldn't even have a house to live in. But
no
then,
one's asking the men to take those jobs.
no, it's not you asking us. We understand it has to be done.
That's on the men then.
All right, so then you want to live in the wilderness?
Sure, yeah. I don't want to pay rent.
Oh my God! All right, so go live in the wilderness then.
Well, no,
Go live in-
it's
go
not
live-
possible these days.
Well, no, you're choosing not to. It's very possible.
Not really.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
If you get a
Like
get
a
a
tent?
van,
No,
if you
I
get
mean-
a van, I've seen a lot of
I don't
people.
have a driving license.
Okay,
See?
you can get a tent though. Go camping, never come.
But your driving instructor is most likely going to be a man because he
will be
understands that
having-
society is going to need to drive. That's what I'm trying. Like men have this inbuilt thing of whether it be conscious or subconscious that the society that they live in needs to be pushed forward. Okay, they can't just sit around looking at dresses. Right, I'm not being disrespectful, but they can't sit around on bloody ASOS or Pretty Little Things looking at dresses and looking at. I'm just saying that we're not like, oh yeah, whimsical stuff. Yeah, let's manifest everything. Men are like, listen, shit has to get done around here for society to move. And the thing is, a lot of the time, men feel. This is what men are feeling now, and I think it's a lot of the time the reason for like the ism and schism between men and women. Men are like, but hang on, we built this shit. Like we built this. Like, how are you gonna hate us without the internet, which was a male built thing? You wouldn't have been able to talk on the internet about men and talk shit.
Well, we don't hate you because you are doing those jobs. Who's saying that?
So I'm not talking about you. I'm saying,
but it's the
I'm talking
lack
about
of
feminism.
appreciation, and
Yeah.
it's even in this conversation, like we always say, oh well, that's not the men's, like that's the men's fault if they that happens. Like it's like that disdain it's not
I
nice,
love men.
which is good. I know, but we should like.
I'm not saying that you
I love
don't.
men,
I'm saying
I love
that when it comes to
women.
feminism in these days and times seems like it's like like it's against men. Like men are this, the patriarchy. Oh my God, misogyny. It's like, listen, without patriarchy and misogyny, you wouldn't even have a house.
No, to me, feminism is like if a man goes and has sex with 10 women, he's cool. But if a woman does that, she's a whore. That's what feminism is to me. It should, they should both be cool.
Exactly.
They should both be whores.
The reason why.
Then do you
Sorry,
think?
go on,
Then do you?
Pam.
Okay, but then
Preach.
but if the biology,
president.
but the biology doesn't support you.
Right.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if we're about feminism, do you think it's fair that we should give the facts to younger women and say, hey, if you sleep with more men, your chance of a happy marriage goes down drastically?
Yeah, women should have all the statistics. I didn't know that was a statistic. Like, I didn't know that was a fact.
Yeah, and this is what I'm saying. Like the men and women are different. And men
course,
don't
yeah.
have that same thing. Like men, if they sleep with more women, they're happier in there.
Thanks, D. Thank you very much, bro. Is Stevie back? Stevie's still there. He's still not back. Let me get Marcus's view on that first. Marcus, what do you think of that video, bro?
There's a lot.
What? Yeah. What
There's
is?
a- there's a
What
lot.
did you
There's a
see
lot.
in that
There's a
video?
lot.
Yeah. If Steve's not come back, it's fine.
He just did come back, but yeah. What I would say is first, the body language was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
The body language was really, really interesting.
Mhm,
I think the more you went on, the more I saw eyes start to hit the ceiling.
Right.
And it's I have to add what we were speaking about earlier, because it's confused me. There was the young lady, I think she was to the far right with the black hair.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, that is the exact thing which we were talking about, like, respectfully to her, yeah.
Yeah.
The head top is light, innit?
She's a bit.
She was light.
What you saying? She doesn't have much
she was
going on
light,
upstairs.
yeah.
On
And
Instagram.
I'm not just gunning her because certain girls, that's their way of life. Like I've got nothing against that, but
Yeah.
it's kind of like a point that you touched on. It's funny to me, and I do look at it as an entertainment thing
Mhm.
when these girls come to the table to talk on a society.
That
Like-
they don't understand.
Yeah, like just you shouldn't be in the room. Like that's just how I see it. Like I'm not going to be in a room talking about high level physics.
If it's not my bag.
Bruh, I'm just not gonna have anything to say. Like just as she said, oh, I love guys. You love guys because they buy you things.
Yeah,
do
but
you know what I mean?
I
Like,
want to live in the
wilderness.
Yeah.
Like it's
She would survive. She would
not
survive
even
2 hours.
not even a
Bush
minute.
tucker
Not even a minute. Like so, like there was just so much to break. I mean, obviously the girl in the little orange vest, she was obviously getting quite frustrated. She quite held her composure still, but she was getting frustrated just by the truth, really. And I just feel like a lot of these videos you've done in past to present, they seem to be getting, in my opinion, like women seem to be getting it a bit more.
You think so?
I'm not gonna say by many points.
Okay.
But I do see improvement from when you and Pearl first started to now. Like,
interesting. Okay.
I'm seeing that. So I would say there was more negative points than positive.
Stevie, did you see the video, bro?
Yeah, I saw it.
What were your views on what went on?
I
in
mean,
that
you
video,
might as well
bro?
have been talking to a fucking wall, bro.
Yeah, it wasn't the best part.
And like real shit, it's like, I mean, it was definitely dope to hear the facts that you spit, man. But a lot of women are not ready for that conversation. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when you have these conversations, the truth put women off. So it's like a lose-lose regardless of what the fuck you say. Like a woman has to be self-aware and ready to hear those ugly truths. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times the truths just make women defensive, and they want to use their own anecdotal experience to try to outlaw the overall issues that we're struggling with, man. But I hate that should be painful, bro, when you got ditzy girls up here who don't know nothing about nothing. We trying to talk about real shit.
Yeah. No, I hear that. Sorry, Lola, what you say?
Sorry, to cut you. I agree. I think we even need to be selective about who we give platforms to speak. Some people have the face for radio. Some people, I agree with that. But as we're saying, obviously everyone has the right to speak. Don't get twisted. But I think like what you're saying is that if you're going to speak on certain issues, she's taking it back to that basic. She's talking about feminism and she's bringing it back to the body count thing. That is
she want to smash.
Like, I'm not saying it's nothing to do with feminism, but it's like, is that really what she's like? Feminism to me is me being able to free it up. You're taking it back to things that are like. That's what creates all of the discontent and issues in these societies, because you're taking it back once again. You're taking it back to sex as well, which is like another issue. It's another big societal issue, and it's another big societal issue that we have that has caused issues between men and women is sex related issues and women talking about like sexual power and X, Y, and Z, and we know that men, biological drivers, you're created to reproduce, so therefore regardless of our society developing that we're no longer like with one person throughout our whole life, you're still scientifically gonna go forth and breed up the place. So I think we do have to remember these things. Biology.
So do you guys think that one of the reasons for the gender war, because what I saw in that video was, even though it's me, not to try and blow my own trumpet, was somebody talking things that made sense, logic, rationale, and reason.
Yeah.
And then somebody opposing logic, rationale, and reason. My whole thing is, in a war, quote unquote, in a war, is there always one person? This is a random question, but I want to kind of get your lot's take on it. Is there always one person in the right and one person in the wrong? Or are they both right?
Everyone could be chatting shit.
In a war in general.
There's one truth. There's one truth in how people look at it, bro. And more times than not, in this situation, men are going to we're more rational and analytical about these type of situations. And I know it's a broad generalization, but typically we can put our shit aside and actually look at the fucking truth and not get tight about it. And then, women tend to bring experiences and their emotions into it, and it's going to skew the truth. But we both have our biases, but I think that we tend to be more logical and analytical about these things. And it's closer to
so what do you think you can do to educate women then to make them see you lot's side of things, because that would stop the war?
I struggle with this all the time, man. With like these, you said that you hit nail on the head earlier. It was like these podcasts can become divisive because it's really the same shit over and over and over again, man. But it's like, how do you deliver the message to somebody who's not ready to listen to it? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm trying to give you the truth, and it's a harsh truth. I need to like cupcake it up and make it pretty for you to accept it. If it doesn't highlight you the way you think that you are, you're going to fight it. And that happens a lot of time with women. Like, how do you deliver? How do you tell someone an ugly truth? Like, how do I tell a woman she's fat? How do I tell a woman that, you know, if you fucking around, you a hoe, men ain't gonna want to wife you? And then, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's why delivery is just as important as the message. But it's if you're really trying to get women to listen, we got to focus on the fucking delivery. But just if you can try to slice it as many different ways as you can, they're not gonna want to accept it unless they're ready.
So the reason why I asked that question, right, is because if I take it and kind of expand it, right, wars go on. There's a war going on with like Russia and Ukraine right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody within that scenario is right.
Yeah.
I don't know who.
Yeah.
I actually don't know who, but someone is, and only time will tell.
But you'd have to study their history.
You have to study it to see, right?
Yeah.
So in this war, someone's right.
Yeah.
But you're saying you're basing it on in this war, as in like
in this gender war, someone's right.
But what's the question for you to be right about? Do you see what I mean?
All right. So Stevie just said about you know, if you're fat, right? Or if you fucked 600 men, you're a hoe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it is. Now somebody's right in that scenario. Somebody will say, no, if you fuck 600 men, you're not. And if you weigh 400 pounds, you're still beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Who's right and who's wrong? So the reason why I'm speaking like this is because what frustrates me, which is probably what frustrates a lot of us, is that people generally know right from wrong.
No.
You don't think so?
No.
All right, so if I got up,
Not anymore.
all
Not
right. Let me try and give this.
Not anymore.
Stevie, like not anymore. If I got up right now and slapped Laura in the face, am I right or wrong?
You're wrong.
Right. Do we generally know that?
Yeah.
Right.
Because of the people in the room.
Right. Okay. So if I got up right now and slapped you in the face, am I right or wrong?
Depends what we're arguing about. Depends
No,
what
we're
I
not
said to you.
arguing. We're just having this conversation, and I randomly just got up and slapped you in your face.
Yeah, that'll be wrong.
Right. But that's what I'm trying to say, because people generally know what is right and wrong. But what I think is people, though knowing what is right and wrong generally.
Are you saying subconsciously?
Consciously. No, people consciously
know.
People consciously know what is generally right and wrong.
In these times now, you
bro,
believe
they
that.
do, because what it is that I feel like they're fighting against their own innate system within themselves that knows it's right from wrong. They not when you tell a woman that's had sex with 600 men, it's wrong, and she says, "I know it's women's empowerment." She already knows it's wrong. Innately, she does, because she feels it at night when she lays her head down on her pillow. She knows that she's had all those men run through her. She feels guilty about that shit.
But what's the girl? What's the girl that went to Takeoff's funeral?
I don't know. Takeoff's funeral.
No, not Sweetie, man. Is it Miami? Young Miami?
I don't know.
Right, Young Miami. Yeah,
right.
She went there.
Diddy's girl.
Diddy's girl. Right.
Okay.
Now she went there and she was taking selfies there, and she was had a little black short number on, and then everyone went to her on the internet. They said,
"What the fuck you doing?
What you doing, darling?
Yeah, we doing
fix yourself up, right?"
At this guy's funeral. Yeah.
And you know what she typed back to them?
What?
I did this at my dead baby father's funeral as well. Usually, can't tell me nothing. Now, I want to go back to your point, right?
Right, go on. Prove me wrong, bro. Prove me wrong.
Do you believe she knew right from wrong as she doubled down on what she said?
Yes, because the thing is that got in her way was pride. She knew she was wrong, but the fact that her pride and ego got in the way of her. Hang on, you know that you've been caught doing some shit and be like, yeah, but.
Yeah.
But you knew you were wrong. But your pride and your ego started speaking.
Okay.
Right? Everyone's done it.
Okay.
But you already knew deep inside, you knew.
So can I put it this way to you? Yeah?
Go on, brother.
Now, you can be wrong. In the modern society, now you can be wrong. It's okay to be wrong.
So, yeah,
it's glamorized.
Because wrong is right.
Okay, that's not wrong now. What's your perception? Whatever your perception is
right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, what I'm trying to say, Stevie, though, is that we already innately know, though.
I'm with you.
We're using pride and ego to fuel the conversation and to fuel things that are quote unquote right and wrong. We're not using our innate knowing of what is right and wrong, because what happens is we will fall to that default position.
Yeah.
Know it when it suits us. right? So, like I said, if somebody randomly got up and slapped me in my face, we'd know, oh my God, that was wrong. But if somebody says, oh, a man can't be a woman, a woman can't be a man.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? But and then they'll give their argument, but they already know it.
Can I put something to you with that?
Of course you can, bro.
You see, like one thing again that my dad told me, like, is results. Even if you think you're right and I think you're wrong, whatever, yeah, you know the results of your actions down the line, yeah,
will show you whether
will
you're right.
always show you the truth,
right?
Yeah, so you can be like, I'm gonna get all these surgeries, and I'm gonna become a woman because I feel like a woman. But if you don't have the money to upkeep these surgeries later on down the line, no matter how you felt, life is going to kick you in the ass with the truth, right? Because if you was a woman, you wouldn't need to keep up these surgeries. You wouldn't need to keep on taking hormones. Do you get what I'm saying? So for me, we've got so far down the rabbit hole now that I don't even care whether somebody thinks they're right and wrong, because it's just so messed up out here now, that I just go, okay, I'll sit back patiently and just watch it crumble. You get what I'm saying? Like I literally don't have the time to correct everyone because everyone seems to have lost the plot.
Yeah, but bro, 2022, dog, facts don't even fucking matter anymore. That's how it feels, dog.
I agree.
That's how it feels.
I agree.
Facts don't matter anymore. Like, we can look at these results. Motherfucker can look at a result dead in the face and still feel totally convicted in how they think their truth is. That's what we are right now.
What I'm saying though is that ego and arrogance. Is that just the ego?
But what about other circumstances like this younger generation of women? I'm picking on women now because of the feminist movement, who have actually been like conditioned and brainwashed to really think that life is that way. Because I've seen them like innate this, innate that. They're just too young at this point to realize that.
Modern day society, though.
You know what I'm saying? Like, women have really been brainwashed to fucking think that they can literally do anything a man can do.
Go on, Lowell. You were saying, sorry. Go on,
I think that's what I'm saying. That society's changing, so it's not. Once the conditioning is set in place, it's just a new age of how things go. I'm not saying it's right, but that's unless the changes are made at a certain level.
So do you think that the moral compass that normally sits inside us to say, we know that if I was to get up and slap someone in the face is wrong, you think that's shifting? You think the actual moral compass is shifting?
I do.
Yeah,
I think people lack morality now. I don't think people give a shit about stuff like that, and I think people are raising their kids different, and they're not raising their kids with certain concepts because of this ego and arrogance, and people can see it. And because, as I said, the pressure of society with like social media and everything, so many things that are like aspects and how things look and not as how they actually are. People are not living in their truth, so that can shape your moral compass, because people do things that might be outside of, as you said, they may know they're wrong, but do things outside of their moral compass in order to look a certain way, because that's what society's. Yeah, but that's what society's made them think.
That's what I'm trying to say. Know it's wrong,
but
bro.
Stevie touched on something, which is, bro, like there's tons and tons of books. We speak about this all the time. There's tons and tons of books on social engineering. There's tons and tons of books on how to program people. Now, if we see, like I was speaking to you about the other day, the Havana syndrome.
Yes.
Right? Now, there's the Havana syndrome. I want people to Google it for themselves. Don't just take my word for it. Which went on in Cuba, where people was just waking up. Like a lot of American delegates were waking up with concussions. Yeah, they didn't know why they was having these concussions, etc., etc. Yeah, but a lot of the doctors now, a lot of the psychologists have come up and said it's mass psychosis. Yeah, so if you worry about something and you put that onto me, I start worrying about it, we can have the same symptoms physically, right? Now, what I'm saying is, when you research that, you'll find that women are most affected. Now, that's not me putting women under the bus, I'm saying doctors, female doctors, psychologists have said that women are more susceptible, to mass psychosis.
You mean hysteria?
Mass hysteria, as well as psychosis, though. And and this is what I'm saying, like when you actually do the research, like I don't think a woman has to take a man's word for it anymore, even though I believe they should in certain circumstances. Yeah.
But should you not take our word for it sometimes? This is what I don't get. That's
Yeah.
where the war starts again, because it's like, we must take your word. Sometimes we know some shit you don't know. Sometimes you know some shit we don't know.
But you see that double up there, yeah? Like I used to get told off in my house for doing that. Like if my mom said I did this, I was like, well, yeah, my cousin did that. Like I'm saying women generally do that a lot. Like I'm not blaming you for it, but it's just something that just happened just then. It's like if men point out something to women, women got to point out something back to men.
Right.
It's a competition.
Where I'm saying just deal with what I said with you, and I'll be happy to hear once you start addressing that,
right, what
you might have found out about me.
You
know, I'll be happy to deal with it afterwards. But
interesting.
It's this kind of when you say war, we're having a back and forth because it's back and forth. You say this, I say that.
It's a competition, bro.
No one's stopping.
Competition, you're saying, Stevie.
Exactly, but no one's stopping and saying, forget the competition for a second. Let's just deal with the issues.
Yeah.
All right, we've actually got another caller in actually. Jay Takashi's in. I want to hear what Jay Takashi has to say. Add him to the conversation. See what Jay Takashi. How you doing, brother?
How you guys doing?
We're good, man. We're good. What have you got for us today?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge fan of both of you guys. I've seen you on Pearly Things as a podcast, like, you know, those shows. You've done really great handling yourself like an actual man does, especially being a black man. I love that. Night Talk, you're amazing, brother. Like how you just give your opinions out and also just able just to get to the bare meat of bones of something without having to convolute. I really thank you for your content, brother.
Thank you, bro.
But my thoughts on what you guys are talking about. Listen, I find it just a bit eerie and a bit irritating, the fact that whenever you try to use facts, you start off with logic and stuff. People don't want to go off that. They want to go off emotion and they want to go off how they feel. As to really stick it to the point of what actually is. Like, for example, they say, oh, men don't have emotions. Yes, we do. But the difference is with us, we're able to grind down on them and actually go with logic first. Our emotions can come later. We don't care about that afterwards because we have to really use what is going to be beneficial to us in any circumstance or situation, as you know, because, you know, that's how we've been taught. Like, you know, that's life and that's how we progress. We can't go off if we go off emotion, we're not going to be thinking very well. That's why I said to my friend, how do you think the military works? We don't go off feelings. We go off of logic. We go off strategic tactics, and we go off of actual training. Now, granted, the military's trained a little bit for what they're doing for the ladies more often than not junk coming up. That's been a thing that my boy has been keeping me updated about because he's in the Marines right now. And, you know, that's something that's like a steady peeling that's coming to change. And I'm not with that. Now, when it comes to particularly what you guys have been talking about, like I said, the male presence being needed in the house, I 100% agree with you guys. It needs to be said that every little boy that comes up into this world needs his father. I don't care. I don't care how you try to justify it, how you try to turn it around. They need their father. Like I said, I don't care. I don't care what any woman says. You need both. As I said, if it takes two to bring a child in the world, it takes two to raise it. But also, it's not just one. This is just me personally. I don't support single parenting unless a big circumstance befell you, where like your husband passed away. That's the only circumstance I give you.
Right.
But other than that, he needs a male figure around him in order to teach him the ways of the world, to actually, like, you know, quote unquote, not just coach. I'm talking about guide him. Like there's going to be a problem that he's going to have to, like, let's say he has a problem in school. I wouldn't recommend going to the mother first. Go to the father, because first the father's going to give you the logic of what went down, and he's going to tell you how to deal with it. Now your mother's going to say, how are you doing? Are you okay? All this, but dad's going to lay it down with logic and really literally get to you, because he is a man himself and he went through the same thing. So he's on one that can actually subscribe to the issue you're going through. So like I said, so when that is very much helpful for a young development of a young boy, and you decide to remove that, I look at you sideways altogether. And the thing is, we have to realize that the father is such an integral part of that, of how we raise our kids, especially for young girls. I always bring that up. the father will protect his little girl for the right man. He will definitely do that. And him and his brothers will protect her. And so she is ready to be married off to the man that he sees fit, that has like that we can sense, not some playboy off the street.
Jay, I totally agree with you there. Stevie,
What's up,
sorry.
dog?
You got anything to say to Jay after that?
Man, I agree with everything you said, bro. I'm that single parenthood shit is it is not what's up, bro. So yeah, we totally with you, dog. Everything you say, we all agree with it.
Thank you,
Marcus?
guys. I did want to add one thing. Now the thing is, I've since I've been young, particularly, I am traveling. The difference with me is I'm going over like I'm actually getting my teaching license right now. You know, taking courses for that right now. And I'm going to be a teacher in Japan more often than not, because the majority of my brothers who are military, they're actually married to women over there. The difference is they actually, you know, one is a real estate agent. The other guy, he works. He's a trainer, like literally a certified trainer over there. And he says like, Jay, you're Jay. Like, you need to get over here, brother. This is a place you wanted to be for the longest of times. And if you really do love what you love, and not just go over there for the girls and things like that, then you're gonna have a great time. The difference is you gotta. One of the best lessons I've learned from a man from the military, a retired veteran, he literally told me the best thing a man can attain through all the course of his life is peace. When he perseveres through all his trials and tribulations, he will succeed and actually have a modicum of peace that he's built on through the hard work. And, I'll leave it on that.
Listen, bro. Thank you for calling in. Like I said, we're going to be doing this weekly, yeah, we're going to be digging into some stuff. So we're going to be getting a lot of people in. Before we run out, because we ain't got much time. We ain't got much time, folks. Ain't got much time left. Lola, thank you for coming as well.
Thank you for
coming. Next time you have to come a little bit earlier. Yeah,
I'll bring my girl for that. Oh,
yeah.
Look at me blaming women.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come a little bit earlier, because me and Marcus have said one of the major things that we speak about is men having their clans, quote unquote, right? And we do feel like men have to kind of take things by the scruff of the neck. We were talking about Stevie was saying, you know, when you tell a woman certain things, you know, they ain't gonna listen to the. At this point in time, we don't care what women are saying right now. Like, we just feel like someone's got to steer the ship, right? Someone's got to steer the fucking ship, and right now, it's not being steered in the right direction, we believe. So we just got to take the bull by the horns and the thing by the scruff of the neck, whatever you say, and we just got to do it. So yeah, we're going to be going into men having their own spaces and having their own clans. Before we kind of get going, does anybody want to say any final thoughts? Stevie, what's your final thoughts, brother?
What's my what?
Final thoughts, bro.
Oh, my final thoughts. I never have final thoughts regarding topics like this, man. But I think that I'm pessimistic, bro. I don't think that, as far as like the male to female dynamic and the impact feminism is having present day and the presence of social media, bro, I do not see a light at the end of the tunnel, bro. I think it's going to continue being steered the wrong way. So with that being said,
what if we are the light, Stevie?
No, we're gonna be the light because we're gonna be straight.
Okay then.
We're gonna be straight, but I'm talking about the totality of circumstances where, like, 20 years ago we wasn't having these issues, bro. Everybody was, semi cool, but right now it's just pockets of poison all over the place. And I think it's just gonna as social media progresses and people become more retarded and attention spans get shorter and men become more soft and women become more hard, bro, and having two egos in households, and bro, it's just gonna yeah. I don't see anything positive coming from it from the majority, but we can change the trajectory of certain men's lives, take advantage of information like this, bro.
Yeah. All right. Marcus, final thoughts, bro.
I just stick with what I'm always sticking with. I believe in exactly what Stevie's saying. At the same time, I believe the solution, from my opinion, is you need to make Wakanda a reality. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah, go on.
Yeah, no, I think we need to make Wakanda a reality, and this time not do like in the Marvel films and be like we want to rejoin with society. I think people need to put their minds together and realize that this might be on a crash thing. Like Steve was saying, it might be this is just the fall of Babylon, and we're just waiting for it all to crash, and it's just going to get worse and worse. But at the same time, even Noah tried to build an ark when everything went pear. You get what I'm saying?
Right, I get you.
Like, so we got to have an out of some way. Like, yeah, the woods, whatever.
So when you say Wakanda, you mean build something?
Build something outside.
Have your tribe.
Yeah, have your tribe. Start that new little
Create your
shambhala.
own arc. That was hard.
Yeah. You know, just do that, because, as I said, I totally agree. Like, I remember last time on the show, I was saying that I'm a positive pessimist.
Yeah, you are. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of like I see this all going tits up.
Yeah.
That is it. Like I don't see it. I agree with Stevie.
It's gonna burn. It's gonna burn.
Yeah, it's gonna burn.
Yeah.
But I don't mean you don't start getting in a raft. You know, you get what I'm saying? So like,
doesn't mean you don't start building that shit.
You got to start building.
Yeah.
Start building somewhere. So
yeah.
I think these conversations that we're having are the beginning of like-minded men and also like-minded women. The women that are starting to listen to this and be like, yeah, like I'm thinking about their arc. Yeah. Like I ain't thinking about you lot and all of this rare tear. Like I'm thinking about that boat over there, what they building looks all right. It might not be pleasing now, but I believe in the future, these type of topics and these type of subject matters, more based in solution, will come forth.
Lola?
I agree with that. I like the way you articulate stuff.
I know he's good at it. He's good at it,
Marcus. You're very articulate. But I think these conversations are very necessary. I think that as well, when we're talking about, I'm not a mother personally, but I know that when I become a mother, I'll find it important to raise my children in a way that they're open-minded and they have understanding and good level of education. And I think for the men, it's important, as has been mentioned, to be able to also raise your daughters to not be part of that generation of my girl going, oh yeah, I love to live in the forest and do a bush tucker trial, but where can I get my nails done? Like, we're not doing all that. So, you know, I think for both men and women alike, is if we're going to have these narratives, then we also have to also not be hypocritical and stick to being progressive with how we choose to maintain that morality, etc. Because I look at like how I was raised a lot by my grandmother and my grandparents and with traditional concepts, and I still even though I'm a modern day woman, I'm still hold quite a few like traditional concepts, and I think we've lost that over the years, which has created this, you know, this barrier. But we can't allow that we didn't come this far just to come this far, you know. Sometimes I feel like that about like ancestors and stuff that we went through to reach this point, for us to be out here doing fuckery. Yeah, I find it quite offensive. Yeah. So I think we need to we need to dismantle these narratives. We're disrespectful in every facet. So I think about these things. I think, you know, if we're gonna have these conversations, we need to actually make sure that we're doing things from a place of education. So I always say that my nan she was the angel of learning. So actually educating people with the correct narratives and providing, like you're saying, safe spaces for people to talk about things without it being like a battle. It's not about war. We're having a conversation. You can have a debate. We're grown, and just gradually moving forward, you know, on those bases in a respectful way. I'm always open for conversations.
Nice.
Thanks for having me.
Folks, thank you everybody for joining in.
Have we got super chats?
Yeah, I think we have a few super chats to read. I have a few super chats to read. I think we can start off. Hang on. Can we go to the very top? Oh, hang on. Okay, I can only see like one. From Coach Keith, thank you very much. It's free, right, science, observation, power, and morality. And that's all I can see at this moment in time. If there were more, I apologize. If there were more, if I didn't get to read your super chats, I apologize, folks. But thank you all for joining in, and you guys can join in next week. We don't know what we're going to be doing next week yet, but it doesn't matter. So you can all just join in. Excuse me, I've still got a cold. I'm going to try and not be sick next week. It's what it is. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, peace, family. Peace.
Ciao, ciao.